Welcome back. It's still sunrise, and it's time to talk about what many people have described in Ekiti State as a sacrilege on the judiciary. It started the attack first in the courts in Ekiti during the trial of the acting or governor-elect Ayo Fayose in a suit filed by the Ekiti Social Political Group E11. And then on Thursday again, during the inaugural sitting of Ekiti State Election Petition Tribunal. And so everything just went the other way. So what really happened? Let's be finding out this from our guest this morning. We have on my left the Attorney General of the Ekiti State, Wale Fakponda. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, the Director, Media and Information of the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State, Boyega Aribishoga.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you
good
here.
Morning, dear. I'm okay.
Okay, let me start with you. What would you say happened during this week in Ekiti State?
Well, I would say that it was a contrived crisis. And it's unfortunate that it has embarrassed the state. And we believe that if we must, play politics, we should play it with some sense of responsibility. We all knew that the election was conducted, and a winner was declared. But all along, we also know that there have been some form of clandestine moves by the APC to either through the back door, truncate the mandate, or probably get their own pound of flesh through the court. And we are all aware that these moves have been orchestrated by the social group that we call E11. And in Ekiti State, virtually every indigene knows the role the E11 has played in the past, right from 2006, when they contrived this conspiracy against the new governor-elect, and they succeeded in getting him out of office through frivolous excuses and some misplaced informations. And they came again, few weeks to the election, saying that he was an impeached governor, so therefore is not qualified to contest. But unfortunately, they came in late, and the process in the court did not, come into play before the election was conducted. But having seen that the election, went that way, and the governor-elect was elected through a peaceful election, they now went back to their, chest, and they began to look at ways by which they can stop governor-elect and probably truncate that mandate. So they decided to use certain elements within the judiciary to contrive a court process, which started on Monday. And unfortunately for them, the people are already aware that the E11 had no other thing other than to truncate that thing. They went to court with placards saying that they do not want this mandate to be taken away or to be truncated. That was the beginning of the crisis on Monday. The people that went in there, even as at that time, the governor-elect was not even in the country. So the people went to court. And it's unfortunate when you describe your people as miscreants and thugs. Those who went in there.
So how would you describe the people that went into the court?
The question is, did they go there with machetes or cutlasses? They went there with placards.
The reports we got.
That was the report. That's why I am here to tell you what actually happened. I was in the court.
You are in the court.
I was there.
It is good you said you're in the court. In the court, is it true that a judge was actually...
Not on Monday.
Okay.
Not on Monday.
So what happened on Monday
was what I'm telling you.
Okay.
The people sensing that what they were going to do in the court on that day is akin to what they have experienced in the past. And it came to pass that the judge sitting on the case said he had jurisdiction and that he's going to start hearing that same day. That was what precipitated the crisis. When people say, okay, if you said you have jurisdiction, at least you allow some time before you start hearing. But the judge insisted that he's coming back to hear the case and probably pass a judgment. And the people rejected this, and they said, no, it's not going to happen. Okay. That was what led to the crisis on Monday.
So how did the violence come in? Because
violence
you say they came in with placards.
The people that came in with placards. Violence came in when they discovered that the judge insisted that it's going to, give judgment on a matter that you just gave a judgment in the morning, that you had jurisdiction to hear the case, and you say you are going back to hear the case that same day. And the PDP lawyer came out to say that this is not supposed to be.
Not supposed to be. Okay.
The people now out of
let's
anger
ask
decided to react. That was on Monday.
Exactly in
the
your
issue
domain.
of Thursday, it was a different ballgame.
Okay,
what I was
we'll get to the issue on Thursday. Let's ask Mr.
Domain.
Fakonda.
He's talking about contriving and...
Okay, let us clarify issues, because there's a lot of misrepresentation, including even from him now. Now, two matters came before the High Court on Monday. These were pre-election matters. The purpose of those matters was to ask the court to inquire into the competency of the
governor election
to contest the election on two grounds. First, the applications asked the court whether an impeached person can contest, and secondly, having perjured in INEC Form 001 that he had never been impeached, whether such a person, should not be accordingly disqualified.
And disqualified on the basis that he lied?
Yes.
That he was never impeached?
That he lied that he had never been impeached. Now, the matter, as I said, was a pre-election matter, had suffered adjournments for two reasons. First was the judicial union strike, and when the strike, when they eventually called off the strike, the judges went on vacation. So that is why the matter could not have been had before now. Anyway, to the court. The judge sat. The judge had informed all parties before now that he would make a decision on whether or not the court has jurisdiction to hear the matter, among others. And on that day, the court reconvened. The judge delivered a ruling on the issue of jurisdiction, not the substantive matter. The issue of judgment, final judgment, was not even there at all. On this, whether or not he has jurisdiction, he delivered a ruling. He then said, I'm going to hear, because by several precedents, ideally what the judge should have done is to hear all applications at a go and make a single ruling. Anyway, the judge then adjourned for 2 hours to hear the parties argue the substantive application. The issue of judgment was not even there yet. The originating summons, which was the application before the court, had not even been argued. Adjourned for 2 hours. In the process of the 2-hour adjournment, apparently, as he has rightly said, the PDP lawyer, now it's good that that has been confirmed, the PDP lawyer went out to inform, I don't know if he says they are not thugs, I don't know what they are, about the, what was happening.
The judge saying that he has jurisdiction and he will rule.
They now invaded the court.
Who would you say invaded the court?
No, the thugs. They are thugs.
Why would you describe them as thugs?
Well, if people come into court, beat up litigants with sticks or whatever they were welding, smash, destroy the court's property, I think there's no other way to describe them as thugs.
Mr. Aribishogun said he was in the court on that day. Were you in the court on that day?
No, I wasn't there, but I've been briefed by the lawyers, and we eventually now went to inspect the court. 5 people and about 5 persons were beaten up, and they are presently receiving medical support now. The judge obviously had to flee, But you know, it's not the politics, because for me, we should move away from the politics. What has happened should be called its name. It's a violation of the judiciary. I mean, there are processes. Even if the judge held in any way held, anyhow, there's the appeal court, there's the Supreme Court. What happened is a violation of the judiciary, and I think it should not be allowed to stand. Now, following from that, I think we should move to Thursday, because it's important to have a composite.
Yes.
Now, because they got away with what happened on Monday, and by the way, there was security. There was policemen there who could not stop them from rampaging.
Why did they not stop?
Well, that is a different issue. That is a different issue. Whether the police had, you know, how the police conducted itself, it's another issue that, you know.
So there should be an investigation into
absolutely
security agencies, okay.
Now, on Thursday, the Election Petition Tribunal sat. Again, the thugs invaded the court, this time led by the governor-elect. Now, what happened was that they were going, and I'm coming to the bit of beating of the judge, they were going from court to court. They went to the Chief Judge's court, ransacked the court, tore court records. It was in the process of going from court to court that Justice Adeyeye, and I spoke to him, came out to engage the governor-elect in a conversation that, you know, please control your crowd. Do not storm this court.
Sorry, you're a lawyer,
yes,
and you are also Attorney General, yes, of a state,
yes,
and the same state has an elected governor,
yes,
who is in waiting,
yes,
and you are implying here that that elected governor, yes, in waiting, yes, went with people, and those people in his presence ransacked, yes, the court.
And beat up the judge.
In his presence.
In his presence. Now, in fairness to the governor-elect, when I spoke to the judge did not say that the governor-elect slapped him. He said he supervised his beating.
This is what the judge said.
The judge said he was there, he was standing while the governor's thugs, for want of a better word, beat the judge. Not only did they beat him up, they tore...
Who is this judge you spoke with that said what you're saying?
The Justice Adeyeye. Now, the reason he came out was that on that day, the chief judge was not on seat. He was the most senior judge around. All the other judges had probably taken to their heels. And he thought, well, you know, he said, according to him, he thought the governor-elect was a gentleman, and he came out to have a conversation with him. By the way, Judge Adeyeye is not a member of the Election Petitions